What is up, everybody? It's Connor from Unscripted, back again with another video. In today's video, we are talking about, as you see by the title, CDL Super Week Day 5 recap, as well as CDL Super Week Day 6 preview and predictions. Little 2 for the price of 1 action tonight, and as always, you're getting it off the script. So without further ado, let's get right into the videos, kicking things off with a CDL Super Week Day 5 recap. It was a good one. I'm going to put my predictions here from my Twitter. Obviously, I didn't make a video with my predictions, but I do have the official proof I did pretty well with predictions today. As you see here, I predicted the Thieves 3-1 over the Ravens. That is exactly how it went down. I didn't get to see the series, unfortunately. I did just, well, we're going to go over it here just based on the stats and everything, but I did miss that series. Regardless, it was a pretty straightforward one in my opinion. Next up, we have Legion 3, Ultra 2. That one was spot on, 100% right on the money. Like I said here, I do think Ultra is the better team, but they're just a little bit inconsistent in my opinion. And they're a pretty good search team, but for some reason I just felt like Paris were going to clutch up and win that Game 5 search, and that is exactly what happened. So very happy to see that. You know, I am an Optic fan, but beyond them, there are a few teams that I cheer for, and Paris is definitely, I think, the #1 among those teams. So very happy to see them pulling some upsets and making some moves for sure. Finally, this is the one game I was one map off. Unfortunately, that one map resulted in me having the whole game wrong. I had it going 5, that was correct, but I had New York taking it solely because of the way they looked in search against Rocker, and Dallas hasn't looked the best in search, so I thought maybe New York could take the search. They did take the first one, but Dallas was able to complete the reverse sweep, as we will see here in a minute, so that was my one wrong from the day. Going over to Breaking Point GG, as always, give them a follow on Twitter and all that good stuff. They do great work. Here in the Moscow Hardpoint, it was Slasher and Temp who were doing the most of the work. Slasher plus 11, Temp plus 12. Look at Dylan Codd. Rough series for him, minus 14. Moving into the search, Slasher again. He was plus 5 in this one, and TJ went big, plus 4 as well. Dylan Codd, 3 and 10. Like I said, not looking good for him. LA took that one as well. London took the control, probably their strongest game mode. Here you see Temp struggled. Temp is really hit or miss, it seems to me. You know, when he's on, he's really playing well, but when he's off, he has some ugly stat lines, and here was an ugly one. Paris actually all positive there, so, you know, that's impressive for them to outslay by, 13 kills. A pretty good slaying team in the LA Thieves, one of the best in the league, so that's good news there. Then the hard point, though, LA was able to wrap it up. Dylan, only minus 6 this time. He was up there a little bit. Shawnee had a good game, but look at Slasher. Plus 14, almost 6,000 damage. He had a big game for sure and led his team to the win. Now, Toronto versus Paris. This was a very fun series. Paris took the first hard point. I missed this game as well, so I can't say much about it, you know, other than stats, and here are the stats. So, you know, there it is, whatever you want to make of that. Now, the search I caught some of. I did get to see Method's 1v4 clutch to end the game. That was awesome. And, I mean, look at the slaying in that one. Toronto was all over them. They're a very, very good search team. And they tie the series up 1-1 off of a dominant search. Control was even more dominant. They go out and they 3-0 Paris. This was one my boy Scraps. I like Scraps a lot, but he struggled on this one. Only 9 kills and 20 deaths in this control. Not a good sign when you're losing offenses and just getting totally outslayed in the game mode where your lives are limited, obviously. So that was not good. This game for Hardpoint, though, was a really good game. I just blanked. Toronto was up like 209 to like 128, I think it was, and they scored 2 points the rest of the way. So Paris clutched up big time in this one, or you could say Toronto choked, either way, but that was ugly at the end for Toronto and good for Paris, as you see there. Paris won the slaying pretty substantially. They won it by 11 kills, so a good Mat 4 to tie it up for them, and then they go into the search and destroy on Game 5, and they were great in this. Aqua and Scraps, as you see, both plus 6. They played phenomenal. Classic, despite only being 4 and 5, he made some plays that aren't going to show up necessarily with his flanks and stuff like that. He was running some nice routes and making great plays for Paris. Good team effort from them. I still want to see Fire get it going, because if he can get it going, they'll be a legitimate contender, at least top mid-tier contender in my opinion, but he has to pick it up. But regardless, the rest of those guys played solid to get the win. And finally, New York versus Dallas, the big grudge match with Clayster against his former team, and he played phenomenal in this game. So they dominated Dallas in the hard point on checkmate, 250 to 138. Everybody positive for New York, solid all-around effort from them. And obviously for Dallas, then everybody negative. You know, nobody played great for them in that first one. Search and destroy. New York came out and fried him in this too. Look at Clay. He was 13 and 5 in this search. That was also in checkmate. He played phenomenal. Over almost 2,300 damage. Just a great game from him. Hook, the only player positive for Dallas. That's not surprising. He is their best player. He's the best player in the league, in my opinion, but they just couldn't get it going. This control here, New York actually choked. I don't know if they were up. I think they were up 2-1, and then Dallas ended up coming back and winning it. You see Illy there, majorly negative, but Crim 6 and Hook picked it up in this one. For New York, once again, Clayster, almost 8,000 damage, 43 kills, just phenomenal play from him against his former team, at least to start the series, but they just were not able to quite close out the control, and it would prove to be detrimental as they would go on to then lose the hard point on Garrison pretty easily. Shots, you look at him, 36 and 22. That was a big game from him. Crim 6, 6,500 damage plus 9. New York side, they slowed down. They got outslayed by 14 kills. Clayster was -9 in this one, so, he wasn't elite in every game, but he was very solid in those first 3 games. I don't know why Hydra's on here. He's not on the team yet. I don't think he will be anytime soon, but Dallas ties it up 2-2. Then they go into Miami and they take the search and destroy pretty convincingly, 6-3. Never a worry in that one. Hook stepped up and he showed why he is the best player in the league. 12 and 5, 2,000 damage, solid game from him. Clayster played well again in this one, but the rest of his teammates were negative. So Asim slowed down a bit, but Clayster picked it right up, and they very likely could have won this series if that control just a couple of different things. They had like a +10 life advantage and ended up blowing around before blowing the whole game. So they were right there. They definitely choked a little bit, but that's a good storyline and a phenomenal matchup. And despite the loss, New York looking very good, much better than people expected, and they will be right there in terms of their group and the first major. And here are the standings. They're currently second in their group. All they need to do, all they need to do is beat Seattle, and they will get the 3rd seed, which would be big because it would put them in winner's bracket instead of loser's bracket. So they should be able to beat Seattle and wrap up that 3rd spot. But for now, that's what it looks like. And Dallas and LA will be playing their match on Sunday. Will be for the 1 seed. Basically, the winner of that will be the 1 seed, and the loser will be the 2 seed. So that wraps up day 5. A lot of good action there. And now let's quick jump over and get some predictions for day 6 tomorrow. All right, starting us off, we will have the Paris Legion at the Atlanta FaZe. So everything I just said good about Paris, unfortunately, probably comes to an end in this one. They're playing well, like I said. I think they are the most underrated team in the CDL, but Atlanta's a different animal right now. Now, Atlanta is, they have the 1 seed in their group locked up, so maybe they can just play, maybe they'll try some new things out, try some new maps, whatever else. So, and obviously Paris is playing for something, as we'll see here in a minute. So maybe it'll be an interesting series. I don't see where Paris gets the wins. I mean, maybe the hard point. I could see them taking a hard point, but beyond that, I just don't know. I'm going to take Atlanta FaZe. I'll say 3-1, and I'll give Paris a map. I don't know really where it's going to come from, but I'll give them a map. Minnesota Rocker. So as we see here in the standings, they're currently tied 2-2 with the New York Subliners, but Minnesota did lose head-to-head, so they will have to finish ahead of New York to get that 3 seed, which would mean they are in a must-win series against London, and then New York would also have to lose to Seattle on Sunday. But regardless, Minnesota has to take care of their own business. I think they will. They are definitely a better search and destroy team in this one, but I don't think they will even need to go to the second search and destroy. I think London has been playing pretty good control, and New York has struggled in hardpoint some, so there is the potential for London to just take the 3 respawns, but I don't see it happening. I will give London the control, and I think Minnesota will win the series 3-1. Making their record 3-2, and then that would give London, finish them 0-5 for stage 1. Not the start to their season they were looking for. They are struggling for sure. Finally, we have LAG versus Toronto Ultra. So I'm pretty sure this is going to get interesting over here in Group B, because let's say Paris loses to FaZe, which I think they will. They'll be 2-3. The winner of this game would also be 2-3 between LAG and Toronto. There is one scenario where Paris couldn't get the 3 seed. I think Toronto, or no, because no, it would have to be LAG because Toronto lost to Paris. So there's a scenario where LAG can, I guess if LAG beats Toronto and Paris loses to FaZe, then LAG could get that number 3 spot. It's going to get interesting, but regardless, I don't think it will matter because I think Toronto will take this series. I'm going to say 3-0, honestly. Now, depending on the map, like if LAG could get Crossroads Hardpoint, they could take it. They look solid on that map. They could take a Surge, but Toronto's pretty good at Surge too. So I just think Toronto comes out and they 3-0 them, and then that would result in Paris almost certainly getting the 3 seed and being in the winner's bracket at 2-3. So that's kind of interesting, being in the top bracket despite having a negative record. That's how I see that playing out, though. Toronto just all around, I think they're just a little bit better than LAG, and it will show up. So that would put my final standings as well. For now, it would have this side would be FaZe, Chicago, and Paris would be the top 3 teams in the winners bracket, and we won't know this side for Sunday because, like I said, these two are playing for the number 1 and number 2 seed, and then New York, if they win, they will be the number 3 seed, but we won't know that until Sunday, like I said. London, London and Seattle are guaranteed to be in the losers bracket on their side. And on this side, I think everybody might still be in play except Florida. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, this side's pretty clear cut in my opinion. It's going to be Atlanta, Chicago, and Paris. So that's how I see it playing out. I hope you enjoy the matches. There should be some good matches tomorrow. There's a lot on the line for some of these teams. All of these games really have playoff implications, or at least seeding implications for the first major. So they should be interesting. I'm excited to watch them. I hope you are too. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. Leave a comment in the comment section down below with your predictions for tomorrow's matches as well. And subscribe to the channel if you were enjoying the content. I would greatly appreciate all of those things. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the matches. I hope you have a good day and a good weekend. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.